Greetings humanity of our planet we call home. We are anonymous. As of early June 2015, America was distracted by a contrived, pre-planned Confederate flag distraction, and same-sex marriage. The United States Congress forfeited the entire economic future of the country by quietly passing the so-called Fast Track Authority, which allowed the corporate-paid American President, Barack Obama, to approve the TPP Free Trade Agreement. The TPP, as you may have heard, outright surrenders the United States sovereignty to multinational corporations, handing them total global monopolies over labor practices, immigration, big pharma drug pricing, GMO food labeling, criminalization of garden seeds, and much, much more. In all, the TPP hands over control of 80% of the United States economy to global monopolists, and the TPP is set up to enable those corporations to engage in virtually unlimited toxic chemical pollution, medical monopolization, the gutting of labor safety laws, and much, much more. Plus, did we mention the TPP will displace millions of American workers as corporations outsource jobs to foreign workers? While corporations rake in the profits from new global powers every day, American workers will lose their livelihoods and their jobs, not to mention their pensions. Political sleight of hand. It was so easy to distract the American people with a bogus flag flap and same-sex marriage. Essentially, America just got sold out by people like Marco Rubio. And it was incredibly easy to pull off too. First, America was distracted by a contrived, pre-planned mass hysteria and outrage event, now known as the Confederate flag flap. Second, the legalization of same-sex marriage, which Congress approved nationwide, but would not legalize cannabis for the cure for cancer patients across the United States. Hilariously, the literal false flag controversy does not even involve the actual Confederate flag. It involves a battle flag that people mistakenly think is the Confederate flag. But who needs historical accuracy when there is hysteria to spread? While Amazon.com was frantically deleting Confederate flag products from its website, and everybody was going bat-crap insane over the 1970s comedy TV series, Dukes of Hazzard, and its use of the so-called Confederate flag on a hot rod car, Republicans, and the now President, Barack Obama, were busy committing outright treason, at the most highest of all levels, surrendering American sovereignty, and economically enslaving all of America's future generation. And that is the tragic irony of all this. While the political leftists falsely believed it was denouncing slavery, by pressuring every online retailer and government entity to ban the Confederate flag, the United States Congress was busy enacting a whole new level of total economic enslavement for all of humanity, regardless of their skin color. Here is a quick video explaining the now TPP Free Trade Agreement.
Republicans in Congress are eager to work with the Obama administration to fast-track the passage of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. If you haven't heard much about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, that's part of the problem right there. It would be the largest trade deal in history, involving countries stretching from Chile to Japan, representing 792 million people and accounting for 40% of the world economy. Yet it's been devised in secret. Lobbyists from America's biggest corporations and Wall Street's biggest banks have been involved, but not the American public. The pharmaceutical industry, for example, they get stronger patents, delaying cheaper generic versions of drugs. Big corporations and Wall Street get an international tribunal of private attorneys outside any nation's legal system that can order compensation for any lost profits found to result from a nation's regulations. That means even U.S.-based corporations could challenge any U.S. government regulation they claim unfairly diminishes their profits. Say, laws that protect American consumers from unsafe products or unhealthy foods, that protect workers, block toxic emissions, or prevent another taxpayer-funded bailout of Wall Street. The Obama administration says the trade deal will boost U.S. exports. But the deal will also allow American corporations to outsource even more jobs abroad. In other words, it's a Trojan horse in a global race to the bottom, giving big corporations and Wall Street banks a way to eliminate laws and regulations that get in the way of their profits. Right now, they're trying to get something called fast-track authority, so this massive giveaway can pass without any public review or power to amend. So we have to say loud and clear, no to fast-track and no to the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
While ignorant activists ran around in mass hysteria, thinking they were banishing a symbol of enslavement from the history books, they were actually providing the necessary public distraction to quietly pass the TPP's fast-track authority. In other words, the ignorant activists played right into the hands of the real slave masters, the globalist, monopolist corporations, and their fascist government puppets, who betrayed the people at the very given opportunity. Believe us, these corporations do not care about the skin color of their slave workers. They gladly enslave everyone, including you and me. Why is humanity so stupid to allow our own elected representatives to forfeit America's future, which they just did? Screw the Confederate flag issue and same-sex marriage, folks. All of Americans are now the property of multinational monopolist corporations that have turned national governments against their own people. The Confederate flag flap and same-sex marriage was merely a useful distraction to trick the population in using the political sleight of hand to fool everyone about the real agenda being pursued in Washington. America is now officially a nation of slave workers beholden to multinational corporate interests. How does your silly flag and same-sex marriage outrage feel now? This is what just got passed into law, and the following things are now patentable: plants and animals, mental processes, surgery, any and all medication, so say goodbye to generic products, genetic, biological, and cultural resources. Most of this is left extremely vague, so unless it is defined in a revision, essentially, everything now is patentable. The main points are that copyrights law will be extended for at least 70 years. Posting and downloading copyrighted content online will now become a federal crime, regardless of whether or not it is for commercial purposes, and can result in a permanent ban from the internet. The quality of testing and requirements for patents on drugs will be lowered. Corporations will be able to sue and change the laws of any government for any and every commercial purpose. Pharmaceutical companies that treat illnesses, such as cancer or AIDS, will be able to sue for projected loss in profit for treating those illnesses. Corporations will be able to sue for infringement without actually owning any registered property. Internet service providers will be legally required to give all of your information, including your current location, to the governments and major corporations involved. Corporations can withhold information about their products, including ingredients, chemicals, and drug facts, for commercial purposes, of course. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. To all governments involved in the enslavement of our humanity, by passing the now TPP Free Trade Agreement, you will now be expecting all of us for your betrayal on all of us.